Yo, what's going on, people? Hope you're all good. I set out at the start of this year that I'm going to do more stuff that kind of challenges me, puts me out my comfort zone, and actually stuff I enjoy more, which is talking about fitness, gym, coaching, business, clients, bodybuilding, prepping for shows, mindset, growing a coaching brand, community, all them kind of things. I love to talk about, like day in, day out, and I do online with my clients, with people in the gym, people I network with online. And I just thought, like, when I make reels, when I make content for Instagram, for TikTok maybe, it's like 90 seconds. If you do any more than that, you kind of like, I shouldn't really post that. So this is the spot, YouTube, where I'm going to expand out, speak maybe for 20 minutes at a time, 10 minutes at a time, 7 minutes, whatever it might be, just longer form content. And I actually just got off a call with one of my mentors who I'm speaking and working with now, Jace, and he's doing a lot of YouTube, and seeing how excited he's getting about his page. The guy who does all my photography, Alex, he set his own YouTube up, and I'm looking from the outside thinking like how much I enjoy seeing people do the YouTube, and like I think I've just been waiting to do it for that long. I've just been putting it off, so now it's back. Now it's here, I should say. So let's crack on with it. So what I want to speak about on this first episode, if you want to call it that, is basically just like how I've gone from just being an average guy who goes to the gym to placing fourth in the world in my last bodybuilding show. And for me, the main thing is like finding the next level. How do you find the next level? Because when I was training 5 years ago, when I'd done my first show, I thought I was like, in a good spot. There weren't much more I had to learn. Probably a bad way to look at it, but obviously when you're younger, you don't think the way you do when you get a bit older with the experience. So for me, finding the next level is always, it's got to come in portion from someone else. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you've got to learn from someone else who's above you. Unless you've been experienced to that other level, how are you going to find that by yourself? You might watch your favourite like influencers on YouTube. You might watch, a motivational podcast, or you might watch a motivational YouTube video of like someone else, and that could give you the motivation. But actually seeing in person what it takes to find your level from here to go to there, it's a different story altogether. There's a few ways you can do it. What I done personally was just reach out to coaches who were ahead of me at the time, and I thought, look, I need help. I want to place higher in my shows, and they're like, yeah, let's go. This is what you need to do. And when they give you the training plan, you're like, that's how I should train. There could be things like, I'm already doing that, but I weren't doing that. There's never like a brand new kind of plan, but there's loads of elements where you're thinking, I didn't think of it that way, and that's all part of it. The second one is like check-ins, man. Like, check-ins are so important to me, so important to like my clients, because two things. First of all, when you've done the work, you are excited to send your coach your check-in. Like, you're waiting for your feedback. You're like, yes, what's going to happen this week? What's going to change this week? Do you know what I mean? Is my coach happy with where I'm at? Like, it gets so exciting to hand the check-in in when you've done the work. And the second point is like someone going, right, less food this week, more cardio this week. The stuff you don't want to do to yourself, your coach is going to make you do it. So they're the two things with that. In terms of actually training, if you're not in a position where you can hire a coach, because obviously I know a lot of coaches are going to say hire a coach, but some people don't have the finances, maybe yet, but maybe in a few months or a few years they might have. So for now, what I would suggest is like, whatever gym you're in, like try and get around people who are ahead of you. Bigger lads is normally the easiest way. Someone who just can't, wants to help. A lot of bodybuilders will want to help. If you ask them questions, man, like, they'll do it. If you follow good bodybuilders online, good coaches online, they'll give you loads of free advice. But actually finding that next level, you're going to have to see it in person with your own eyes for someone else to set a new standard for you, okay? So that's what I've learned. The next one is like, finding out how to progressively overload. Now, this is where so many people get stuck, because it's like, I used to lift 50 key dumbbells on my bench press 5 years ago, right? I've got videos of it on my phone, and the reps are shit. But I lift 50 now, and like in 5 years I've not gained no weight. I've not gained no weight on the dumbbells. If I looked at progressive overload just in that one mindset, I've probably stayed the same for 5 years, but it's not true because my physiques, took off completely. So it's the way you approach your session and the way you set up your session that's going to dictate how progressive overload works for you, okay? So most of my clients, when they send me over their first initial videos from when they sign up, I get them to send over loads of videos. I review the videos, and most things I'm like, this isn't where it needs to be. So a lot of times, progressive overload can look like bringing the weight down slower. So what you need to focus on is not just getting 8 reps out, but like, how can I make these 8 reps with lighter weight feel heavy? Do you get what I'm saying? So if you're normally used to doing 40 kg dumbbells, but they're shaky, your mate has to lift one up to you, your arms are wobbling, you're getting quarter rep, I would say just do 30 and just make that 30 feel heavy by bringing it down slower, holding at the bottom, squeezing at the top, doing more reps. Like, there's loads of ways that you can get more out of that. And when you build up that, that's going to make your physique grow a lot more. So I wouldn't worry about actually what weight you're lifting. I would worry about stripping everything back and focusing on how it feels, good range of motion, hold at the bottom and controlling the weight down. That's what I've learned about progressive overload. And then once you're in that position, it's natural that you're going to grow. You're going to gain muscle. You're going to get better. You're going to get more stable joints, stronger ligaments, tendons. All that is going to make you stronger in general, and then your weight is going to increase as a byproduct of that without actually trying to force the weight to move each week. I feel like that's what a lot of people will struggle with, is they'll just try and add more weight each week for the sake of it, and it does hold them back, I'm not going to lie. And the third one, I just kind of touched on this, but like, it's mastering that mind-muscle connection. I'll tell you the story, right? When I started training, like me back, for example, me back, I really struggled with connecting the muscle. I didn't have muscle to connect. Like, my back was so thin, and I'd watch people go and like talk about mind muscle connection and engage a lot and squeeze, and I used to think, I can't do that. I don't have the muscle to do that. And when I have clients now, a lot of my clients, not all of them, a lot of my clients can't do that, and lads I train with in the gym can't do that. So like, I think it's one of them areas that you need work on, and mind muscle connection is about feeling how the weight actually feels in the muscle. So when I'm bringing a movement from like A to B, for example, I'm not thinking about just getting it from A to B and contracting at B. I'm grabbing it at A and I'm trying to contract all the way to B. Do you get what I'm saying? So to do that, goes back to my last point, you have to lower the weight to be able to do that. So don't get caught up too much in progressive overload by going too heavy, because you're going to miss out on the most important thing, which is mind-muscle connection, okay? Once you master mind-muscle connection, you're going to progressively overload 10 times what you have in the past, and you'll have the physique to back that up as well, which is what we want. The last thing I'm going to finish on is like how you would develop mind-muscle connection, okay? I'll have a little pause a second. This is why I've done YouTube, because I can talk forever about this. So when it comes to mind-muscle connection, right, a lot of people think it's like, you just think about the muscle and everything's gonna be okay. But what I've found is just a game changer for mind-muscle connection is exercise number 1. What I've always found is like, when you do that first exercise, flood that muscle with as much blood as possible. So if I'm an absolute beginner, right, like I'm new to the gym, exercise 1 is going to be something I can feel working for the start. Like, there's going to be in your gym a lot of machines that you just won't be able to feel. No matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you persevere, that might just not feel good for you. So I would do a machine that feels the best for you. So for example, for shoulders, it could just be a dumbbell lat raise. You could do 4 or 5 sets of 10 to 12 reps of dumbbell lat raise with low rest in between. What that's going to do, it's going to pump the muscle full of blood. You're going to feel them working, you're going to feel them getting warm, you're going to feel them really engaging. That feeling when you're like, oh, my shoulders feel toasty. If you do that at the start of the session, you're going to develop your mind-muscle connection a lot more, because what's going to happen is, like, if you think of like, I don't know how I can explain this. If you think on like how water would run down like a wall into like a hole, into like a grid, for example. it's going to take the path of least resistance. Do you get what I'm saying? So like if you think of your muscle being super warmed up, you've weakened that essentially. So, you know, it's warm, the blood's there, that muscle's ready to go. So when you start doing your shoulder press, for example, when you start doing your heavier stuff, it's going to go through the path of least resistance, and because your shoulders are being warmed up, it's going to go through that path a lot better. Does that make sense? So if I'm jumping into a chest workout and I have done a chest fly and I've absolutely toasted me front delt, right? And because I haven't picked the exercise that I can feel my chest work and my front delt's overloaded, when I do that incline chest press, the least resistance is going to be in my shoulders because they're so warm, they're so pumped, you know, they're ready to go, whereas my chest isn't. So all you're gonna do is you're gonna take the movement through your bias more through your front delts and not get the attention on the chest. So to develop that mind muscle connection, what I would suggest is doing a fly movement on your chest, making sure you can feel it in your chest for every rep. Doing enough reps where you feel really pumped and your chest feels really warm. Then go onto your chest press, and then you will feel that chest being worked because it's already warmed. You know, your mind has kind of made that connection with the muscle being worked. So hope this all makes sense. Hope this helps. It's my first video, so it might be shit, but I'm gonna keep them coming. Okay. I'm aiming for 2 videos a week. I'll be sat at my desk. I'll be out and about. I'll be in the gym. Just getting about and just trying to deliver as much value as I possibly can. So yeah, nice one for giving this a watch. Speak soon.